everyone. I'm really excited to be here today to kind of share my story. So, the summer of 2011, I was 20 years old, and I had just finished my junior year here at the university. Knowing I was going to go into the Master's of Accounting, I decided to take an accounting internship with one of my dad's companies. And I was finally so excited, I know, excited about accounting, but excited to get a realistic view of how it actually works in companies. And I knew that that summer was truly going to help me grow, but I could never anticipate in what ways. So, May 22nd, 2011, was supposed to be a celebration of the beginning of summer. So my friends and I, who went to different colleges, we met at one of our local theaters to watch Something Borrowed. But we actually never got to see the end of our movie. Around 5:30 p.m., a tornado ripped through the heart of my town, forcing us to take cover. Because cell phone service was sporadic, we didn't know the path of the tornado, the size, or how many there were. You know, in that theater, we all stopped being individuals. And we became a resilient group because we joined together and comforted each other as information was just being shared. Within 10 minutes, we had learned that one of our local hospitals had been hit and everything surrounding it had been destroyed. Suddenly, my chest tightened because my best friend lived next to the hospital and she was sick that day and couldn't make it to the movies. So desperately, I tried to call her and text her with just nothing getting through. I promise you that those moments of not knowing are forever ingrained in my mind. But finally, one text got through to me. She was alive, her house was gone, and she said it looked like a war zone. It was through her text that I knew that my life and my town of Joplin were forever changed. So walking through my town, hearing the stories, watching these videos, it was surreal. For days, I tried to convince myself that I was a part of a movie, that all these scenes that I was seeing were just part of some elaborate stage. But reality started to sink in when I was pulled out of my accounting internship and placed as head manager of the residential demolition division. The current manager had lost his home and was obviously unable to make it in. So here I was, being entrusted with an entire division. Yes, I knew the ins and outs of these companies, but I definitely knew nothing about demolition. So I spent 2 days straight contacting my town hall, contacting the state, researching and asking questions. I learned more about asbestos than I ever imagined. And when I finally felt comfortable enough, I dove in head first. My position placed me in the debris sites and in the lives of these victims for over 80 hours a week. The hardest part of my job was driving through these neighborhoods, trying to find these houses and not recognizing where I was in my own town. Seeing landmarks destroyed, seeing blankets and photos and toys scattered everywhere. Because these weren't items. These were memories and remnants of people's lives. These same people who would actually use me as their confidant when I would meet with them to discuss the cleanup of their home. These people would share with me their fears. They shared with me their personal stories. For 3 months, I had to be so strong and stable for other people. I was utilizing strength in myself that I didn't know existed. And I thought I was handling everything so well until I came back to school. That was when symptoms of a minor case of post-traumatic stress disorder began to appear. I was lashing out at the people closest to me. Small things were angering me, and I was getting annoyed. I'd be in a checkout line, and if the person in front of me I thought was taking too long, I would start shaking. It took the strength of someone extremely close to me to finally convince me that I needed help and that I needed to go talk to someone. And that same strength can be seen in many other friends and family and strangers during the storm. Because in the midst of that tragedy, heroes emerged and my community was strengthened. I am here as a representative of my community. Though I did not lose my actual house or someone in my immediate family, I lost friends of friends, and I lost the place that I called home. So I'm here today to talk to you about the reaching out and the strength of people, because the night of the tornado and for months to come, people were reaching out and showing that strength. Volunteers, doctors, nurses, soldiers, they were just flooding my town. Donations were actually being turned away because we were receiving too many and couldn't store them. FEMA had to send trailers back because local people were opening up their homes. Food and water were being provided in bulks, so no one went homeless and no one went hungry. I actually remember talking to a couple at a shelter. They had lost their home, their cars, everything they owned. Yet they were there volunteering because they thought other people were in more need of them. And they had just lost everything. Witnessing these acts of selflessness made me feel so truly blessed to live in a place like Joplin and to be a part of a selfless community. And it is my hope that other communities will be able to possess that quality in the face of tragedy. Because when everything else seems hopeless, you will know that you have your community, and that is such a powerful feeling. When everything else seems hopeless to you, please remember these individuals. An 18-year-old who spent all of his graduation money to buy flashlights and supplies to conduct search parties to find his best friend's mom and other missing people. An AT&T worker, Cheryl Nilsson, who sacrificed her life to save employees and a family. The Pizza Hut manager, Christopher Lucas, who strapped his body to a cooler door to save the customers and employees within. The Home Depot worker, Dean Wells, who sacrificed his life by guiding over 40 people to safety. The Carthage senior class, who forfeited their project graduation by donating all $15,000 of their funds. And the 21-year-old sister who lost her 18-year-old brother on the day of his graduation and almost lost her father when their car was taken up in the tornado, but found the strength to post an inspiring testimonial celebrating her brother's life, making her brother, Will Norton, the face of hope. These are the stories of people in my community, the true heroes of the Joplin storm. But these people and these stories aren't just limited to Joplin. They can be seen all over the world in many other disasters. The 23-year-old Queens lifeguard who risked his life to save 6 random strangers. A New York parolee who set up a shelter and an outreach program. The women of Haiti who walked miles upon miles to get water for their community. And a 6-year-old boy who led a group of 5 toddlers to safety during Hurricane Katrina. Because these are the stories of survival and sacrifice, the stories of everyday people in my community and in your community. Today, I look around and I see a Joplin reborn and many other communities on the verge of doing the same thing. The debris has been removed, the ground has been prepared, and homes and businesses are being built, communities are being rebuilt. If you remember anything about Joplin, please remember the love and the strength and the hope and the sacrifice, not the tragedy, because it is my hope that other communities will possess those qualities in the face of any problem. I'm going to leave you with a mantra created by the students of the University of Missouri right after our tornado. One state, one spirit, one Mizzou. Remember this saying in your life. Apply it to your life, because the unity and strength of a community, the spirit of a community will make all the difference. Thank you all so much.